I've been going through the cycle of the recent powers of alignment as I've almost come to the completion of writing the book. I realized the cycle of how an aligned man goes through different seasons of his life. And the seasons are mainly categorized into five different seasons. We start off with the first season we call chapter 1, the seed. The seed where he first started, the home that he was grown up, the environment he was brought up, and of course the first interaction with the mother, grandmother, or sisters and aunties. And that's where he learns his family interaction with relationship. And from there comes the second chapter, which is the survival. As a man evolves out of his family and stepping into, I won't say society, but more of the class in school, probably in kindergarten or primary school. And that's where the boy learns his survival skills. And whatever survival skills that he learned to acquire at home during chapter 1, which is at home, the interaction with the mother, whether the grandmother or the aunties, probably work. However, if the same experience that he has interacting with the opposite sex in school didn't work, and that's where he will face numerous rejections, curiosity, and probably devastation if he does not have the open communication with his family members at home on the challenges. How come it is that you cannot get to have a healthy friendship with the girls out there? And hence evolve into the third chapter, which is the selling of the soul. And depends on how much the boy survived through his survival phase, whether he emerged with understanding or end up with more brokenness. That's where the ego starts to be built, and a part of us will start to have this part that builds up the ego. And when ego is involved, the soul is being compromised, and that's why hence I call this the sacrificing of the soul on the chapter 3, which we will cover a lot more in depth during in our book. So as it evolves to the third part, where the seeking part, to understand the difference between the alignment of how the inner child was and how the ego has manifested, the distance, the gap between the ego and how far the inner child and the boy actually is that's where every man, if they are given this opportunity to go through deep self-seeking, soul-searching, self-seeking, what is the missing link bringing these three parts of ourselves together, and hence come to the final part where people live happily ever after. If not, many will be met, or at least for my story, will be met with the final boss and what we call the siren. The siren of a thousand faces, where everything is complete, yet it is never enough. And from the breakthrough of the final boss, the siren, comes the final phase of the sovereign, where the soul is finally free and integrated. And the part of us that were missing, that were found in the numerous seasons and relationship, can now come to terms and be finally at peace. And I'm very excited to be finishing up this book for all my friends. And for those who happen to be able to relate to bits and pieces part of my journey here of the soul integration and the relationship itself that in the past that happened, and we thought we have forgiven and forget about them, whereas if we do not do the proper recovery work, eventually they will show up in the form of triggers. And what are triggers? And especially with your primary partner, your girlfriend, or your spouse, if there are occasions where you are constantly being triggered, whether it is by her tone, her voice, her demand, and that is a part of you that enters into the fight, flight, or freeze mode. And this could be a very big clue that part of our wounds were not properly resolved yet. And in the book, I will share with you the different experiences and how you can come to an awareness, how you can start to heal your wound on this journey of alignment. Towards the ultimate alignment, this is POA, Powers of Alignment. And I look forward to share more insightful videos with you all as we are building this movement for men out there who seeks complete alpha alignment with themselves. See you soon.